What's going on YouTube? JamieTheKid00 here, back again with another Vanguard segment, but this is almost like a Vanguard tournament diary, but I'm probably not going to list it as that. This is my Narukami deck that I used this weekend at locals to go 3-1, because we only have a small local, so we only play 4 rounds. It was really quite good. My one loss was to Nova Grapplers, because I drew pretty damn dead when he was getting really assaulty with an Azure Dragon. He was really attacking a lot with the Azure Dragon, and I only had grade 3s in hand, so I couldn't guard. And then he just stood everything and killed me game 3. So there wasn't really anything I could do there. But I won out against Royal Paladin. I can't remember what the other decks were for the life of me, but it'll come to me. It'll come to me. Either way, let's get into the deck profile, because I feel that's what you guys are here for, considering the title will be Narukami deck profile. This is a Vermilion control deck, so it's quite counterblast heavy, but I really prefer the way the Vermilion control plays to other types of decks. So I play one Saishin. It applies pressure early on to get your opponent to use up their grade 0 skill, or if their grade 0 doesn't have a skill, it continuously applies pressure and forces your opponent to guard, or at least if it hits, I can 1-for-1 it for my opponent's booster and possibly put them in a bad position. I personally prefer it over Draco Kid. I think that's what it's called, the grade 3 searcher, simply because it's more proactive on board and you're not -1ing yourself for a search which possibly might not give you a grade 3, so I prefer Saishin. Then for the triggers we play 4 heal, 4 draw. I can't wait for set 8, I think, because we actually have a more attractive draw trigger than this. I hate this draw trigger. And then 8 critical, because it's an aggro deck. Nothing much else to say on the kind of aggro part explanation. That covers, of course, all the grade 0s. Then for the grade 1s, we play 4 of the obligatory Red River Dragoon, just the 8k standard. In an aggressive deck, what more could you want? So we'll move them down there. Then I play 4 copies of Desert Gun Orion. I don't like the grade 2 version, A, because it's a triple rare and it's expensive, and B, because I feel that just dropping this in the boost is good enough for me, and having my other grade 2 spots for better grade 2s, because in this deck you need a lot of counterblast, so I have to play 4 damage on flippers. So if I wasn't playing as much counterblast, I'd probably play the grade 2. But at the moment the grade 1 does enough of the job, just the fact I can drop it and lock down a guy, and just drop it as a random booster because I need the booster, and while I'm there, lock down a 10k guard. It's handy, but it's not something that I'd want to spend a lot of money on getting the triple rares, and I don't see the point in having it in grade 2. I don't know, it's just me, but I like this as a booster. It's fine. Then for more boost power, I play double Photon Bomber Wyvern. This card is amazing, in my opinion. And then I play double Lightning of Hope to basically thin the deck, because sometimes I really don't get to my grade 3s fast enough, or it just helps me thin my hand from dead cards like draw triggers and things like that, because draw triggers I find really dead in hand. It also lets me thin out, say, death sides that I can't play that turn, or I'm not going to be able to play, or thin me out from extra grade 3s. So it's just hand modulation. And then I play double Gould because I can't find any more. It took me ages to get the 2. No one at my locals has pulled a 3rd Gould, so I can't find one anywhere. So once I get a 3rd Gould, this deck will be a little bit more protected. But until then, I only have the 1 Gould, and it leaves me quite vulnerable sometimes, only having 2 perfect guards. Onto the grade 2s, I play 4 copies of the standard 10k Thunderstorm Dragoon. Again, standard when you're playing an aggro beat deck. 4 copies of Demonic Berserk Dragon Garuda, because Garuda is the thing that allows you to use Vermilion twice in one game, which is amazing. It allows you to recycle the counterblast that you use for your death sides. Allows you to just generally get more removal on the board, more removal effects going, because you only have a maximum of 5 counterblast to play with, and this deck will on average use 7 counterblast a game. So, understandably, you need these. And if they don't hit, they're applying pressure because your opponent knows you need counterblast. So they're continually applying pressure throughout the game, so your opponent doesn't want to let these hit. So it's, of course, going to force more cards out of your opponent's hand, making your Vermilion plays even more devastating when your opponent has a very small amount to guard with, because you've been attacking them with all of this. Then, to round off the 2s, I played double Shield Blade. Of course, it's a very aggro-based deck, but you do need defense. And I'll usually put these in front of a really big booster like a Red River Dragoon or Orion to at least push for 15, 16. So it's not that bad in the aggro front, but I would rather have at least some defense because of course I'm lacking a gold, so I'm not going to go full aggro with this. And then I play double Dragonic Death Scythe. I've considered bumping it up to 3, but I couldn't find the space. I might maybe cut a Shield Blade for it, but I like Shield Blade. Death Scythe is interesting because, of course, it has the same effect as Thunderbreak. I've often considered just cutting it entirely because of Thunderbreak and just maybe playing 8 grade 3s and playing a 4th Thunderbreak. But at the same time, it has been very useful. It's a good 9k. It's a good grade 2 drop if I've been critical to turn 1. So I can just drop this and kill my opponent's booster off really early. So, I don't know, it's a card that I like, but I don't really know how I feel about it. So, again, guys, feel free to comment on your feelings on this build and what you would change, because this is very opinion-based, and I have a very small Vanguard knowledge. I'm nowhere near as educated on the game as I am in Yu-Gi-Oh! Then, to getting into the grade 3s, I play triple Thunderbreak Dragon. In my opinion, it's probably the second best grade 3 compared to the one I'm about to show you. It's really quite something with a control aspect. With a Photon Bomber Wyvern behind it, you're going to be swinging for 25 per turn when it's limit breaking, and when you drop it, you can kill off any grade 2 or lower by counterblasting 2. So it's really quite something, but at the same time, I prefer this card in the long run, because I prefer... this is, of course, the Vermilion deck, as I've said before, and I prefer Vermilion in the aggressive state, where you can just drop a Vermilion, kill things, and then drop this next turn and have control. But at the same time... Oh, I don't know where I'm going with this. I'm just going to move on to the next grade 3, which is 4 copies of Vermilion, which actually lets me explain this a little better. Vermilion, for me, is a one-turn card. You drop it, use its skill, attack heavily, and that's it. Any other Vermilions I draw will usually go onto the rearguard circles. Thunderbreak is the card that stays in the Vanguard for as long as I can keep it there, because it is a consistent 15k swinger, which is bigger than Vermilion, and you're only really going to use Vermilion once or maybe twice. So, while I play 4 Vermilion, only one of these will likely get used in the Vanguard circle. The rest are great, because you can just drop them as 11ks in the rearguard. Great fun. But I don't think that this is a good constant Vanguard. It is a one-turn play. I feel that this is the muscle Vanguard of the deck, if you guys can understand where I'm coming from with this. I didn't really think this video through when I was going to talk you through, but regardless of the fact, this is the grade 3 lineup I play. I might maybe take out a Vermilion for another Thunderbreak, but I'm quite happy with this. Regardless of that, let me know what you guys think, what you would change. I'm really eager to make some changes to this deck to test it for my next locals, because I really enjoy playing it. And otherwise, that's about all I have to say. For those Yu-Gi-Oh players who've sat through this, I'll be back with more Yu-Gi-Oh content soon. I'm just a bit busy at the moment, and I had these decks built. So, yeah, I'll see you guys soon with some more content. This has been Jamie the Kid 00, and I'll see you later. Bye.